So in today's video, we're going over the top 3 tips for improving your English vocabulary. By the end of this video, I hope you'll be able to use some of these tips to expand your vocabulary and stop using the same words over and over again. My name's Carl. I'm an English language coach. I help non-native English speakers upgrade their English, not just for their professional lives, but for their personal lives as well. Now, first tip on the list is reading. This is so important. It's great to read something that not only challenges you, but also interests you at the same time. So it challenges you on a level where it's a reading level that suits or is a bit higher than what you know you can already do. And it's ideal for it to interest you. That way it's something that doesn't become a total chore for you to do, meaning it's not something that you feel like you're forcing yourself to do on a daily basis. When reading, it's also important to make sure that you look up any words that you don't quite understand so you can get a meaning for the words broken down in a different way. If you want to take this up a notch to an even more advanced level, then I would recommend building sentences with the new words that you have learned. Tip number 2, podcasts. Podcasts are great because this is something that you can listen to on the go whilst you're carrying out a task that you were already going to do. For example, if you are driving to work, taking a bike to the gym, listening to a podcast on the way will make use of that time in an even better way. And what you can do whilst listening to the podcast is imitating some words that is pronounced on the podcast that you may find slightly more difficult to say, and that way you can increase your vocabulary. You can even make a mental note of some of the new words that you hear so that you can look these up later and potentially build sentences with these as a form of practice as well. The great thing about podcasts is there's such a wide range of topics to listen to. I typically use Apple Podcasts, which has an untold amount of genres for all types of podcasts and all types of topics. So I'm sure you'd be able to find something on there if that's via Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any other podcasting platform. This is not a sponsored advertisement. Finding a podcast on there that interests you across any topic would be a great way for you to expand your vocabulary, hear words in new sentences, and then begin to use those and bring that into your own vocabulary as well. And the third and golden tip is learning synonyms. Now, I think this is the golden tip, as this is how you upgrade your English from being at a certain level to more advanced. And the great thing about it is it's quite simple to do. One way you can do this is by using a thesaurus. This will give you a word and all the synonyms of that word. This is where you can look up a word and see similar words to that word. That's the more traditional way, which is how I initially learned it growing up. But what I think is probably the more modern way is simply by going on your computer, going on Google, typing in the word and asking for the synonyms of that word. So for example, if you know that you typically use a word like good or bad as a descriptive word for many different things, such as saying the food is good, the weather is good. By learning synonyms, you will be able to expand your vocabulary so that you begin to repeat the same words less and less. So rather than saying that the weather is good, you could say something like, the past 2 days, the weather has been wonderful. And if you went to eat out and the food was good, another way you could say this, wow, that food was delicious. These words are a lot more expressive and provide a bit more meaning than the simple good or bad in a situation. So I really hope that helps. Number 1, making sure that you read, exposing yourself to new words and words already in context is a great way to expand your vocabulary and allow yourself to find situations where you can use these words as well. Then using podcasts as a way to hear these words spoken at the same time, potentially also practice your pronunciation of these new words that you hear. And finally, learning synonyms, going online or do it more traditionally with a thesaurus, however you wish. This is a great way to learn substitutes of words that you may use on a day-to-day basis and expand your vocabulary to new and improved levels. So I hope that you found those tips there useful. And if you like this video, I think you'll also like the video I made recently on how to improve your fluency in the British accent. There are some great takeaways in that video which you could combine with this one to help you get your English language to that next level. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share with someone who you think will benefit from this video. And until the next time, start upgrading your English today. Take care and keep moving forward.